is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Chasing the Tide. It's your saltwater connection on the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. I'm your host, Dustin Nichols, coming to you from Texas. Hot and steamy and windy. I'm telling you now, this wind has been playing havoc on us the past few days. Been out there battling it the past few mornings, scouting out some trout. Actually, I'm gonna fish a Florida Redfish Series online event coming up this Saturday. One redfish, one trout. Slot 15-25 on the trout, 20-27 on the red. So I'm fishing chaos. 6 to noon, 6 a.m. 06 to 1200. See what happens. I found some good fish today and yesterday, both trout and redfish. So let's hope they stay around. But wind's definitely been a factor. Just been finally getting wrapped up back to a decent schedule. I know we've been lagging on episodes here. I'm just gonna do one a month here coming up. Things are kind of hectic, I guess you could say that. A lot of stuff on the plate, but we're still going to keep coming at you with the episode every month here on Chasing the Tide. So just stand by on that. We're glad to get the ball rolling again. So tonight we got a special guest here. I got one of my Jackson Kayak teammates. Fishes off one of our really cool platforms of Blue Sky Angler 360. I got my boy Jesse from Florida in the house. I'm gonna bring Jesse in. What's going up, man? How's it going tonight?
How's it going, man? Oh man, living the dream.
Living the dream.
That's it.
I know it's been a little while. I had went on an outage and done some different things here and there, but we just had a pretty cool trip back in March, huh?
Oh, we did. That JK fun tour was a blast.
Yeah, we had a little fun tour stop and a couple dealers there in the Tampa area, and then did a little filming for a Road Trip Angler with Jameson, with our brand manager for Jackson, and it was pretty good time despite the W, like always. Just like I'm talking about the wind here, and it follows Jameson everywhere he goes. I mean, it's like his best friend. Wind is my friend. Jameson.
It was a little cool too.
Oh, it was a little chilly that morning too.
It was.
I'm still beating myself in the head for losing all them good snook that first morning we fished with a hangover. Or actually, I didn't even have a hangover yet. I think I was still drunk.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What was that?
I caught me in a snooky.
Looky, we got snooky.
Oh man, that was fun times. Either between skipping under those mangroves or skipping under all those docks. It was just that's fun. That's good times. If you know how to skip good.
Yeah, 3 missed opportunities that first morning, and one of them was a one that would have made a great picture because it was a big one.
Yep, but I missed out on that one in those mangroves, deep back in that mangroves. I watched him jump once and he spit it, but he was a good size.
Oh yeah, there were some good ones in that area that first morning we fished. Then the cold front came through that night and blew the water. I think a couple of the launches we checked, we had some intel on some areas there. There was no water for like 200 yards from the launch point. It was like
that was so crazy. It's so crazy.
Like it should have been 3 foot deep and there was no water.
None.
It's insane. None. So we ended up at this crazy dive bar boathouse launch place. It was like, there's no way this place could be open. And it was open later. Like we were coming by. There's y'all see it. The videos will be coming out soon.
It was kind of a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. We'll talk about it more. We'll get into it more in the episode here later. But first, we wanted to, we want to bring Jesse on and introduce everybody. If you don't mind, give everybody introduce yourself. Give everybody a quick backstory of how you got into fishing, growing up there in Florida, and where you've been, and then what let you into that plastic boat, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, man. Jesse Laspeyre. I was born in Miami, but lived in Homestead. Pretty much growing up, my young childhood. Left out of there after Hurricane Andrew. I should have left before, I tell everybody, but that was a pretty good one. God, fishing. I've been fishing my whole life. My old man taught me. growing up in South Florida too, that's such a good fishery because you've got both. You can, we were at such a good point where you go up and we had the swamp buggies and the airboats, and we'd go to the Everglades and go fishing out there, or for whatever freshwater it might be, or then we had the Keys or Biscayne Bay. So
Yeah.
it was. I mean, the diversity of just fishery was pretty crazy down there. So growing up, it was so cool, learning the different types of things, ways to fish the freshwater versus saltwater. They're similar in their different way, in their
Yep. Oh
ways,
yeah.
but at the same time, it is different. But yeah, just that was my passion. Just I didn't know anything else, to be honest with you. My old man had me out, ever since I can remember. So actually just
Same
spent
here.
some time. I spent some time taking some old home VHS tapes and getting them converted to DVDs, and some of them were actually us going out on the airboat and stuff like that. So it was really cool to see some old home videos uh, the other day. So, but yeah, yeah. What led me to these boats, these plastic boats, or this one particular, the Blue Sky. Well, I would say Jackson Kayak, to be honest with you, and a single person really. Watching my Saturday morning fishing shows every once in a while, and all of a sudden I turn on kayak fishing show with Jim Salmons. I'm like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
Click it on, and he's over here fishing in the ocean
Oh yeah.
for stuff, and I'm like, what is this? And then start watching the episodes. He's doing stuff throughout the country, and that got me hooked on kayak fishing because I was just growing up an old man. We'd fish out of the boats and airboats and stuff like that. We even had a 35-foot Grady White that we would go down to the Bahamas and stuff.
Get on out there, get
So
offshore and everything.
sure, yeah, and
No
so
doubt.
yeah, but watching that show, then getting my first Jackson was a 2016 Cuda 14, and
There you go.
that was it. That thing was like a
Two to
missile. Now
14, man. That was
I
a
had a little
great,
trouble
great
standing in
paddling
it.
boat, man.
Yeah, it was. I had a little trouble standing in it. I wasn't I wasn't a gymnast or anything, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, that thing's been fine, and ever since then I still have that. I got that big tuna, got a Kusa HD, and then I got my pride and joy. That Blue Sky,
The Angle
that 360
Yeah.
angler it's phenomenal. It's the standing platform, the standability. I get on my Orion cooler and sight cast from it every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
Uh, it's a great platform, and it turns great. Believe it or not, it's four
Believe
feet
it or not.
wide. Yeah,
Yeah.
but man, that newer rudder that they had put on there, that's night and day.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I love it, man. It's
Shoot,
great.
yeah, man. And that's the thing, started fishing, getting out, you know, you also work, you help out part time at a kayak shop there in what's the name of the town?
It's South Daytona.
South
So
Daytona.
it's
The
called
name of the store
Sandy
is
Point. Yeah,
Sandy
Sandy
Point.
Point
Yep.
Progressive Sports. Yep.
Yep. There
We're
you help out there. You kind of got involved with them as well, and you were at ICAST last year.
yeah. That's how I actually met Bridget. I met Jameson. Um,
Jameson's our brand
yeah,
manager.
yep.
Bridget
Met,
Valet, she
yep. Got
does
to
some
meet Jim.
marketing and stuff. And Jim Salmons
Yeah,
was there, and Charlie
yeah,
from
yeah.
customer
That was
service
great.
was there,
Yeah.
and they raved
Everybody,
about Jesse. They were like, "Man, we met the super fan of Jackson at
I
ICAST,
I
dude."
told them when I met him the first couple of minutes, I'm like, yeah, I'm a little bit of a fanboy, but you guys make such a great, they make such a great product. I mean, how it's hard not to, so
Right, for sure.
and so it was fun. I mean, they treated me so, like family right off the bat. They weren't, there was other places that weren't so friendly. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah,
So
I'll tell you that's the way it's always been with Jackson is that family feel,
sure,
and even with the team and the camaraderie and everything from everybody. Um, and you get to see it firsthand because they were like, dude, man, you got to check this guy out. Because when I took over, I was running just the south, and then I got the southeast region to be the team leads, and then we were looking to branch out and kind of help, you know, Florida out. The rep was like, hey, we got to make a move. We got some more dealers coming on. We need to start looking at some team members down here. And then once I got the team manager job, it was like, shoot, yeah, It's like, man, I'm about to call this guy Jesse and try to see what I can see.
That was a little bit of an emotional
Get
day.
him on the call, and I remember I still remember that call, and it's like, cause I still remember my call when I got added to the team from Aaron Steiger, and it's like, now it's the other way around, so I'm on the other end of the spectrum there, but it's like, it's pretty dang cool, man. And, the stoke and the enthusiasm you bring to the team is good to go, man.
Oh, I
I
appreciate
thought it was
that.
a pretty cool moment.
It was a great moment. It was a dream come true. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking that we're just talking about, getting some kayaks back into Sandy Point and stuff
Yeah,
like that. I just thought, it was going to be one of those conversations, and then we kind of bringing up. I seen your post where you went up and got the boats
yeah.
that day, and for you to kind of push that in there like that, dude, that caught me off guard completely. And still, to that, I mean, that's a day I'll never forget for sure. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I wear my emotions on my sleeve, so yeah, I had to step outside the Ford dealership for a second.
That's right. You were at the car dealership. That's right.
Yes,
Yep.
I was. I was getting my truck serviced. I was like, "Whoo, yeah, that was too much at one time right there."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, no, I
Dang, man.
appreciate you guys for sure.
Yeah, we appreciate you, brother, man, putting in some work over
Thank
there.
you.
That's what we
We're
need, the
trying.
new team to get out there and do the work, represent the
And we're,
brand the right way and everything. You've done a fine job of that.
yes, sir.
Cool,
Thank you.
man. Well, your area you're in now, you're south of St. Augustine in
Palm Coast.
Palm Coast.
Yes, sir.
Uh, the fishery there, from where you're at around to back to St. Augustine, Guana, south of Mosquito Lagoon and everything. Talk a little bit about that, the diversity of that
Oh
fishery,
man.
your favorite species and tactics. Kind of give an overview of it there if you don't mind to
Sure.
the listeners.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty crazy on how diverse it is just from St. Augustine, just before the lagoon. It's pretty crazy. Like when I started kayak fishing, I started down in Palm Bay, so I started in the lagoon. In the lagoon, you don't got really any tide changes or anything like that. Like there's really none. If anything, the wind kind of pushes the water.
Yeah.
So it was different coming up here because I mean there's a couple feet of swing, of
Mm-hmm.
depth. So one, learning new areas, that was pretty crazy because you don't want to get in there on low tide and be sitting there for a few hours waiting for that water to come back
Right,
in there.
and it will in
You know,
Northeast
uh,
Florida, like
for
St.
sure.
Augustine to Jacksonville to
Yeah, it's
Georgia.
crazy. I've noticed down there, obviously in the lagoon and the Indian River, that's like sea trout capital of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so many trout. I've noticed, yeah, I still catch trout up here, but it's a lot more reds. You got the oyster beds up here a lot more and stuff like that. I do like a lot of the, talking about diversity. There's a little place I can get to right off of US 1 around here, where I can start off. It's a little bitty boat ramp, and I can start off, and there's these bunch of little man-made cuts as you go up this main channel, and you start throwing into these little cuts as it goes, and all of a sudden you start catching these bowfin. You're like, okay, quarter mile up the stream, you start catching snook. So it's like you start catching these freshwater fish, and then you just go around a couple bends, and I mean you're catching snook.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that doesn't scream diversity, I mean
Right.
that's
Snook
so
have been
fun.
known to they're known to kind of head towards more the brackish areas for
Sure,
sure.
sure,
Just
especially
and
start
the
spawning
redfish
that
as
way.
well and the tarpon.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and the same area, the tarpon will start
yep.
spawning up that
They'll
that
push up.
general
Yep.
area. One of our teammates, Bart, he loves going in that particular area and slaying the tarpon and the big snook right now. I've
Yeah.
actually got a trip trying to plan with him pretty soon to
With Bart,
start to go
yeah,
shoot
we
some
got
content
another
or something.
team guy over. Bart Swab runs a kayak charter business there out of St. Augustine, and
Super nice guy. I finally got to
super
meet
super
him the other
cool
night.
dude. Yeah. Oh yeah, you do. You got to meet Bart, huh?
Yes, I did.
Got him
Super nice
loaded
guy.
up on some team boats here a while back. Got his fleet
Awesome.
lined out and
There you go.
drove up to the factory. That's always a fun trip, right? Driving up to the factory
I
and
can't wait. I haven't went yet, but as
oh yeah,
soon,
you haven't
yeah,
went.
I'm
Okay,
waiting. I'm waiting, and I can't wait. That's gonna be my first. Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be another dream come true. Hopefully, I can get me a
that's
little factory tour or
always
something.
pretty cool to see the
Yeah,
process and
yeah.
meet everybody there because Whew, I'm yawning. I took like a 2 hour nap. I went to barbecue Coma here, thanks to the chopping block.
Oh
My
man.
one of my partners here, my buddy John and him, they got a food truck rolling, and they're smoking meats, and they
Ooh.
had some brisket nachos, and they had a barbecue parfait. Think about that. It's in a 16-ounce solo cup, but it's layered with cheesy pit potatoes, macaroni, brisket, sauce, and like green onions and on the top.
Oh man, I
It's
ain't
like a
eaten dinner yet.
barbecue. It's a barbecue Sunday, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I ain't even
I
eat.
was
I
in
ain't eaten
barbecue
dinner yet.
coma. I came back and tried to watch TV, and I was like,
No, yeah, you're done. Nap time.
and my wife was like, "I'm gonna go get Cora." I was like, "I'll go get her. Don't worry." I said, "I had my alarm set for real. I did. Look,
Right.
look." Dude, I slept like 2.5 hours. I must have needed
Oh
it.
man,
It's,
a little
it's
power
been
nap.
hot, dude. It's been hot over
Oh,
here. Oh
brutal,
my god.
brutal, brutal. And
Early,
it'll rain here
early
for like a
morning,
couple seconds,
and then
and
it's
then it
like
stops, and
sauna.
it's so steamy.
It's like a sauna outside.
Yeah, it's
But
ridiculous.
yeah,
That's
man, crazy, crazy, crazy area you live in there. You got a lot of cool
yeah,
stuff. You got
yeah.
some lakes you can drive through. You can fish the St. Johns. You can fish Rodman's. You can fish Orange Lake, Crescent Lake. There's
Yeah.
Doctor's Lake. There's all kind of stuff
Oh
all
yeah.
through there.
And
Bass fishing as well.
I'm 25, maybe 30 minutes from Palatka right there. I mean,
From
that's where they
Black, yep.
start Bassmasters. I mean,
Oh yeah, that's where they
they
started
catching
right there.
giant, 10 plus pounders. I mean,
Oh yeah, there's some good fish on
just
St. John's. I grew up fishing all
giants.
that.
Yeah.
My uncles and my dad, my granddad would we drive down to Orange and Crescent Lake and go fish brush piles for crappie. And I was
Yeah.
like, I want to catch bass. I was like,
My,
man, I want the bass. And then
yeah.
I'll throw big old freaking old monster out there, be dragging around and catch him off the same brush piles he's catching the crappie.
There you go.
So
Yeah,
I
no,
was like,
I like going locally right here. I mean, as much as, the diversity is around here, I'm real close to a place called Bing's Landing.
yeah,
And God, it's so good back there because one, it's I'm pretty much, if I'm going out fishing that day and I know I'm going to Bing's, I'm going out there all day. So I'm going to catch both tides. It's so fun because you can go way back in there. And once you kind of get way back in there, there's a beautiful golf course. So it's like you got the marsh, you got this
yeah,
really nice golf course. So the scenery is just phenomenal. And then you got the reds everywhere, and it's like you can get in the main channels, and it's like just like a conveyor belt.
oh yeah,
You get them certain tides. The other night I got out of there pretty dark and come across a couple snook rolling on the top around this corner. Couldn't get them to hit, but I think I spooked them because I was a little close to them. But
yeah.
just the diversity of the four main fish I go after over there. You got the reds, the trout, flounder, and even some nice snook up in there. It's
Dang,
nice
that's
how they've
pretty
kind
cool.
of made their way up there.
I'm gonna get there
Uh,
one of these days. I'm gonna spend some
I'm
time
telling
over
you.
there and fish Northeast Florida. I've had quite a few guests on from Duval. Uh, Ron Linvey was the last guy guest I had that's from that area, and
Okay.
he talked about some stuff over there I was familiar with, you know, growing up over that way. So I've fished some
Sure.
stuff around Jacksonville and on down to Guana and everything. So I'm familiar with some of that stuff. I just need to make the time to get over there this fall. I'm gonna try to get back over there, and we'll drag you up there with me. We're gonna go catch a
Sure. Absolutely.
30-inch trout when you're up.
I'm hoping to get a little torpedo on this blue sky. It's going to make that range a little bit more.
Yep.
Where Bing's kind of goes a little bit north of that, it's called Princess Place. Well,
Yep.
they've got three cabins that they just put in there like 2 years ago or just before COVID. I'm trying to remember exactly when it was. Super nice. I think they're only about $150 a night, which for what it is, you're literally 50 yards from the water. So you literally keep the kayaks right out your back door.
Sounds
You
like a
stay
road trip
there,
angler
and then you
style.
put. I'm telling. I wanted to talk to Jameson and you go about that because I mean you stay right there. There's three cabins right there, and you literally put in, and it's just oyster beds all around there. I'm not familiar as much up there with that, but I
Yeah.
got buddies that have been up there, and it's redfish and trout up that way.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure.
even the snooks will start coming up there, but it's a cool place to stay. The scenery around that general area, uh, just phenomenal. Really cool. Like they do a Native American festival there every year. Just really cool, really cool area. Scenery is just really neat.
That's pretty cool,
So
man. Because I know we
yeah,
just, coming off of that trip to Florida, we fished, the Gulf Coast side, and we actually fished some spring-fed rivers. And you talking about scenery? That area we fished over there near Perry was
that
pretty
was
dang cool, man.
that was phenomenal. I actually was doing a little delivery for Sandy Point. What was it, Tuesday? Took a little windsurfing stuff up there to Tallahassee, and I passed. I didn't know I was really going up that way, and then on the way back down, I'm like, we came to the intersection where we had to make that turn to go all the way out that road
Yeah,
to get to that place. I was literally right there.
you were right there. You came up the
I
same
was
road
like,
that we had
I
went
was
on.
like, no, I could have brought the Kusa and a rod and had
Yep.
like 8 hours of, because I got up there at like 10:30.
Yeah,
I
you could
could
have
have.
fished that afternoon. You could have met Miss
Oh,
Jean over there. Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, no, I could have met Miss Jean, and so that's
man,
okay. I
that's
was
cool
either going to
though.
do that, and I was thinking, man, I could have either did that or run down to Steenahatchee and started doing a little
Yep,
pre-scouting
little
for the
scouting.
championship.
Yeah, it should be
So
the championships in September. That's what we're going to get to talk about a little bit here. We're going to talk about
sure,
this year's tournament season and getting rolling
first
on
time.
that. Started fishing the Florida Redfish Series, new
Yep.
kayak series they came on this year. Um,
Yeah,
Maybe somebody can twist some arms and get them to allow motors. I might come over and
that's
fish
what
some
I'm.
of them next year.
That's what I'm hoping for a little bit. I mean, I think of it this way: you're paddling and you're pedaling right there. That's already, and if we're talking about a competitive advantage between the one. I'm sorry,
Hmm.
I'm casting, you're paddling. I've got
Yeah,
the advantage there.
right. You
So
already
what's
got an
the
advantage.
difference? I mean, yeah, they can cover more miles, but you still got to catch fish. I don't
Yeah,
care if you go 10 miles, but
and
if
you
you don't
can
catch
you can
fish,
fish too fast with the motor.
sure,
If you slow down a fish more methodically, yes, you got to get it in your
sure,
mindset. It's
yeah,
there's pros and cons to both sides of it. And that tournament I fished this past Saturday, I had to pedal, no motors, and we did over 8 miles, and I was just like, oh my god, I forgot
yeah.
how this was. Into the
Torpedoes will
wind,
spoil you.
dragging fish, trying to not drown the fish because I didn't have my live well because I had the big rig. So just not pulling them over 2 miles an hour, but just the constant pedaling just to go against the 20-mile-an-hour wind. You know,
Now,
rerunning.
do you have the Mark IV on the
Yeah, I
big
had the
rig?
Mark IV on the big rig.
Oh,
Yeah,
how does that
yeah,
go now?
it was pretty
Because
good.
okay,
But
okay,
the Nar just cut the
oh,
water. The Nar just eats up the water.
sure,
Like
it's a missile.
Mike was leading the way. Like no problem, no
Yeah,
effort.
no, yeah,
That big rig's a little different shaped in the bow and everything. I mean,
sure,
still a great boat. I mean,
super
super stable
stable.
platform and everything. But yeah, we're had to pedal. So I don't know. Maybe Florida Redfish League. You're one of you guys on there listening, Chris. I
I'm
guess.
telling you, especially the wind that has been this year has been. I mean, not to sound like a whiny baby, but
Yeah.
God, it's been windy this year.
Oh, it's
It's been
windy
brutal,
right now.
and yeah, I mean, it's yeah. Today got. I mean, it was calm in the morning, but
Yeah.
I mean, it hit 11:30. I mean, it's 2025 right now,
20,
right out of
25
the
here.
north. Yeah,
20 to
it's
30 out of
crazy.
the south,
Yeah, yeah, it was crazy because it
southwest.
shifted. It was crazy. It was coming out of there, and then it kind of pushed, and we got a storm, and it started coming out of the north there. But yeah, man,
Yeah, so
good
you
times.
started fishing those trails this year. How many events have you done with them with the
Okay,
Florida
so I
Redfish
only
Series?
did I this year was well, beginning of last year was my first time I did a couple local tournaments
Yeah.
around here. Did pretty well, so I was like, okay, let's give this a shot. And that's this is my first kind of big tournament. Um, so there's 6 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
The first round was Steenahatchee. Um, I went ahead and did that one because I knew that was going to be where the championship round was. So I was
Right.
like, okay, let me at least get over there and kind of see what's going on. Didn't go as planned. I had my rudder looking like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
It got blown out. That was a learning experience. I mean, it was first good tournament, so I was a little nervous. It was cold. It was windy. And decided to pull my drive up and let the wind just blow me, and then didn't pay attention to how shallow it was getting,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to get off that blue sky and pull it a few times to
Oh
get
yeah.
myself back in deep enough water to drop the drive to go. I mean, there
Yeah.
would have been no drive no drive would have been shallow enough. You couldn't have
No,
even flutter kicked with a Hobie
right.
to
You got
get,
on
because the
some of
wind
them
was blowing
sandbars
at my
over there, and the
face.
wind was blowing. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
dang. So you
but
fished
it
that
was
one,
good. Yeah, I
that
fished that
stop, and
one.
then you fished
Um,
the
I did
Jackson
the
St. Augustine stop.
St. Augustine. I was gonna do another round. I forgot. Oh, I was gonna do the Jacksonville round,
Jacksonville.
but
Yep.
that's when we ended up going over to Tampa.
Yeah, we were in
So I was
Tampa
like,
for
as
that
long
one.
as I
So
get two of those in, I qualify for the
yeah,
championship.
and you qualified for the
So
championship in
yeah,
September, and that should be a
um,
good
I,
time of year
I'm
for
gonna
Steinhatchee
try next
at
year.
Seahag Marina.
Yep, it's gonna be
Yep,
right there in Steenahatchee again.
yep,
2-day event.
yep.
We're gonna we already got me and some of my buddies that are gonna be in the tournament as well. Ended up pitching in on a little Airbnb and got a nice little place on the water, and we're gonna get there Wednesday. Do a little pre-fishing Wednesday, Thursday, and then the events on Friday and Saturday. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun. Gonna be fun.
Word.
I'm gonna definitely try to do,
Put in some work.
if not all, probably 5 of the 6 rounds next year,
Yeah.
just to get a little bit more experience in the areas, and just the tournament experience. I mean, I've got a few more planned, a couple little local ones,
Yeah.
but just trying to figure that out, and who knows where it goes from there.
Well, they just had that. I know Sandy won it again. Sandy Stark's been on here as well from Jacksonville area. They just had that Florida that trout tournament.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm coming over to fish that one next year.
Next year,
That's
yeah,
in May. Yeah, that's in May, late
yep.
May.
Um, there's a guy, Craig. He put it on. Craig Von. Oh man, I'm sorry, Craig. And I met him, and he's a really nice guy. So I mean, really good fisherman. Um, Met him a few times in some local tournaments. Really nice guy, but I think he ended up helped putting that one on this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up doing a tournament, extreme kayak challenge, just before that, like the week before. So
Right.
I couldn't do both back to back. So I was like, dang it.
Dang it.
So
Yeah, but yeah,
yeah,
there's some good stuff going on over there, and then they have a summer series going on right now. It's the Pro Go Live Florida Redfish Series. That's the one I'm fishing Saturday. It's open up for all waters that have speckled trout and redfish. It's capped at 40 anglers on the boat side and the kayak side. So I don't know how many
I
we
thought
got
about doing
signed up
that one, and
now,
I just
but yeah, well, it's 06 to 12. It's a 6 hour window. Slot trout 15 to 25. Slot redfish 20 to 27. It's on Fishing Chaos. You need a Catch X board, and identifier will be released in the morning
they
of the
kind of got
tournament.
us on some extra fees here at the end there on that Florida Redfish Series. We had to, now for the championship, we have to have a catch identifier on our catch board,
Which is great
um,
to keep it
which
uniform.
is, yeah, that's just fine.
Yep.
And then
They're
they
going to
had
have
to
a
do
tournament
a
management. They're going to have judges. I saw that post. Yeah,
yep,
which is a
which
good
they're
thing
making
because
us,
that way
yeah, and
you're consistent. You
yeah,
know,
and they're making us pay extra for that. I think like $10 or so extra, which is no
that's
big
for
deal. I
the
don't care.
2 day event, then $5 for the regular season events
Right.
next year.
Yes, sir.
So and a
So
lot of tournaments are going to that. They're going to all third party judging. That way it frees time up for them to promote the tournament and do what they got to do for running a tournament. And it just, especially when you have bigger events, that judging does consume your time. I will tell you
sure,
that right now.
absolutely, it
It
does,
does. It does.
no doubt.
It does. So yeah, looking forward to the championship coming up September. Then you're going to try to do more stops next year. So cool. Sound like you got a game plan for the tournament season. Get some
Absolutely.
tournament experience under your belt, and the old road dog here before you know it. We want to
Yeah, my
travel all over.
championship.
You come
That
over here and
championship's
fish some of ours. And
October. You didn't tell me about that, so
oh,
I'm gonna hold you to it.
October, yeah, we're about to start working on that on my next set of days off. We're going to do the redfish greenfish smackdown again, October 21st, 22nd.
Nice,
Multi-species event, redfish on the first day, bass on the second day.
nice.
Yeah, it should be pretty fun. Keep your
Yeah, that
eyes peeled.
championship's gonna be my 40th birthday that week,
Oh,
so
that should be
that'll be
fun.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah, I think there's like 44 anglers that qualified for that
yeah,
championship.
it's gonna be fun. I was happy to be. I mean, happy to be a part of it, because
Yeah,
there's some good guys there. They were some real nice guys, and ladies. Met a lady with with Native. I think her
Yeah.
name's Pam. She
Pam
seemed real
Worth.
nice.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. And yeah, no, it's been fun, the camaraderie. That's the one thing I've noticed
Oh yeah.
around it. Just
That's a
getting to
big
meet different
draw.
people. Yeah,
Meet
that
all
was the fun part.
like-minded anglers and everybody.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
I'm competitor. From high
Yep.
school. Playing football and weightlifting team and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
being able to compete still, doing stuff like this is always, get the competitive juices flowing.
Oh yeah. That's
So
what I like about it. The stress.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
grind and
It's a
the
good stress. It's a
determination and
healthy.
the yeah and the and then just wrapping it up with some good conversations and friends and a cold beverage.
Yes, sir. Can't forget
Well,
that.
we're talking about let's go back to this road trip, angler trip, these fun tour trips.
Oh boy,
We
how
went
much
on
are we gonna go into?
Tampa St. Pete, and we had a teammate. He's still grandfathered in. We had a team member um, down there that still lived in the area, and we were going to go fish in the morning. We had lined up to meet the guys from the kayak hub and go check some water out. The area we were going to have a demo there later. That morning, Saturday morning, right? Yeah. And it was
Yep,
Friday night, and it was St. Patrick's Day,
St. Patrick's Day.
and it was like, what are we doing? Why are we? It's not wasn't a good thing. You know,
That
he
was a
was
good
friends with the
experience.
band. Um, yep,
And those,
Jonathan
yep,
Meyer.
yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
I
Oh,
couldn't
for
remember his
sure.
last
Super nice
name.
guy. Okay,
Yeah, but
super nice
next thing
guy.
you know, we're hanging out with the band doing Jaeger mixed with gold shock slogger shots, doing Irish car bombs, drinking God knows how many beers.
And those mixed drinks that they gave me, they wouldn't know. Like it was like rum and then
Rum and rum.
Coca Cola. Yeah, like maybe
They had a Coca Cola floater. Yeah,
that
yeah.
was
So
it.
we close it out with some greasy ass Waffle House, and then
We
we're
just walked there,
going
didn't we?
back to the house, to the Airbnb over in like Port Richey or wherever we were, and we
We
were
don't know.
singing all kind. I was playing DJ. I was playing all kind of punk rock and old school rap and reggae and yeah.
Fun times.
And
Fun
then
times.
the quick wake up came, and I just
I could have
remember
sworn I could have sworn I laid in the bed, closed my eyes, and then you knocked on the door. Yep.
ready to
Okay.
go.
Sure. Let's
I'm
go.
hurting, but we're gonna go.
Let's go.
And I remember turning into the. We had to find a different way to come in. There were some blue lights flashing down the road. Something was going on down one road, and we went in the back way to get to the spot we were going to. And I remember Jesse on the phone. And they said, "I'm pulling over up." And I was like telling James, I called Bridget later that day. I was like, "Hey, I think we broke Jesse.
Y'all, she was mad. She was hollering. She was like, "I told y'all not to do
Told you not to break Jesse."
that."
I was like, "Man, it's all good.
Oh, good for
We
sure.
grinded it out, dude. We had two demos, two fun tour stops. We had seminars to do, um, running
We got it done.
around. We got home, we got dinner, and we was asleep.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
yeah.
then the next
We'll
day we
get to
got
take
up
that.
and got greeted by that front and had to call an audible and fish all kind of different places we didn't even think about.
Also got to take that kayak to
Oh
that
yeah,
couple. That was
that was
really
that
cool.
first day. Yeah, that was
Yep.
the day before. Yeah, the
Yep.
Friday before we had some a couple down there in Bradenton that had won a Make a Wish giveaway through the Lifetime TV network, and we were able to deliver their kayak to them,
Good
and that was a
stuff.
pretty cool experience, helping them
Absolutely.
get out on the water.
I hope they're
Pretty
enjoying
cool.
that for
Got them
sure.
a take
I
two
take two.
to them.
Yep.
Yep. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool little little deal going on. But yeah, road trip angler.
Oh,
We
and
got
that Jamaican restaurant.
yeah.
That Jamaican restaurant
Oh
was some
yeah, we
good
stopped
stuff.
at a Jamaican place there, boy, and
Wasn't it
had some
Rogers
dang.
or something? Was it
I forgot
Rogers
what it
or
was
something?
called.
If I think it was an R or Ronald's or I could have swore it was an R, but either which way. Oh my
Yeah, it was off
God.
the chain. Them patties was good. Um, man, everything was good, dude. It was
For
like
sure.
the patties, the Jamaican food. Where was it at?
Oh
Oh,
man.
I
It
don't
wasn't
know.
St.
I
Pete.
didn't tag them, so I was looking up the post. I was like, man, that joint was good.
Oh, I thought we did. Yeah,
Yeah,
no. Yeah, it was south. It was south of St. Pete.
yeah.
I was
It
trying to
was
remember.
right before we went over a bridge right there in Bradenton. I could look it up on
Yep.
the on maps and figure it out. But yeah, it was. Dude, that place was legit. The jerk chicken was
Oh,
legit.
for sure. That's what I
The
had.
beef patties was good. The rice and peas, the plantain, the sauce. Oh man,
Red stripe.
the
The
greatest.
red stripe.
It was pretty dang killer. I was
Yes,
definitely.
sir.
I was like, we're gonna hit this place up. We had some cold red stripes. It was good, but yeah, the overall experience on that trip. You know, I've fortunately been able to attend one. You know, we did a episode in here the year before last for Corpus for last year's shows. Got to experience that for the first
Right.
time, and then we actually did some stuff here in San Marcos and Freeport through some dealers here in Texas, and then I had the opportunity to come over to Florida for those fun tour stops and to film as well. And I really enjoyed that. You know, that was some type of it's a different type of fishing than I was used to. You know, skipping under the mangroves and what we didn't really. We had some that first day before that, and then that northwest wind came through, blew all the water out, you know, everywhere. So we had to call audible. Everybody will be able to see that on the segments. We found some backwater creeks off the Anclote River there in Tarpon Springs, and tide actually started to fill in. The wind kind of backed off a little, and we found some, you know, nothing giant, but we found snook holding on structure, and we're skipping under docks with paddle tails and having a blast. You know, we actually
It was
caught
so
fish
much fun.
when we didn't have anything to go on. We just pulled up maps and found that spot and went.
That was it. That was it. We're like,
It
that
was
looks
a
good.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
good
was
stuff.
a good time, good experience. Learn, you know, figuring out a new area and on the fly.
And
That's
finding a
pretty much what we
phenomenal
did.
dive bar. That I
Oh
think
yeah,
that was
the
meant to
boat
be to find
club.
that place. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, phenomenal character. I mean, part of it was falling
that
in the
part of it was
dang water.
falling into the water, dude. It was like at a almost a 35 degree slant where it went
And
to the pylons.
didn't they say like a week ago that had just happened? Like they're just sitting there, all of a sudden they hear a boom,
Mm-hmm.
and they go out and the half of it's down. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like over 100 years old. It's an old fish camp. There's pictures, everything in there of all some old school pictures, and there's a hog board in there. If y'all anybody who's in the Marine Corps, you know that's the picture of the girls with their bikinis on. And then there's braziers hanging. There's some lingerie hanging stuff up off the wall. And you can
Oh,
find
wood
them in
burning
there, and
stove.
they got everything. They had some food in the back. You can go get
Yeah,
some taters and some sausage and cheese.
absolutely,
No,
absolutely.
that place
Oh,
was
wood burning
a
stove. That was cool. A wood burning
yeah
fireplace
wood
kind of
burning
deal. That was,
stove,
yeah,
old rickety ass pool table, freaking
yeah.
the man. It's just tinsel everywhere, and then the little open mic night they was getting down, boy.
They were for
It's
sure,
a good
for sure,
time. It's a good time. We
for
went
sure.
there. Yeah,
Yeah,
we dang
and
sure had us a
hanging out
few
there with
cold ones
Bill
in there.
and yeah, hanging out there with Bill Batson and
Yep, had
Jameson. I
Bill from
mean,
Batson Enterprises. That's always a plus to get to fish with Bill. That was the second time
super
I've been
nice
able to
guy.
fish with him, and then we continued the trip and went over and fished some Springfed River south of Tallahassee with Miss Jean, and got to spend some time with Chris Funk, one of our another of our teammates down there. Got to sight cast some bowfin, and actually I was sight casting swannies, dude, in the little sand holes. I just flicked the little bugs, little TRD, like right in front of a dink. I mean, they're
Yep.
not giant; they're like 12, 13 inches. But dude, it was fun.
It was so
Got
cool.
really pretty
That Chris,
colors on them.
Mr. Funk, there, he gave me a little crawler there, and
Mm-hmm.
He was like, just blow that thing out and give it a couple pops, and caught my first Swanee.
Yep.
And I actually had a little short little 3-inch little Z-Man, but it was a paddle tail, but it was like a green color.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, let's see what this thing will do. Put that
Oh,
thing
they
out
were
there a
tearing
few
that
times.
up.
They tore that thing up. Got me a nice few smallmouth, but yeah, I'm catching my first Swanee. Beautiful,
The
beautiful
Swanees, yeah.
little fish. You know,
Yeah,
got
they're
like a
pretty.
tiger stripe, got them
Get that
red eyes.
get that turquoise on their gill plate too. They get a real pretty color. Some of them got a real neat
Yep.
color on them.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was just good times. Meeting Miss Jean, just such a nice lady.
Oh
And
yeah,
and, and Mr. Funk, he
she's the
was.
greatest.
Oh yeah, yeah. And meeting Chris, I mean, watch his YouTube videos, and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that. And he ain't no different, than on camera as he is in real life. And so,
old Funkmeister
good
fresh
guy.
right there.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
good times.
And
But
it's
yeah,
so funny. He told me he's from Maryland. I'm like, what? You're a Yankee?
he don't seem like it, does he?
He does. He doesn't sound like it or act like
I know, right?
nothing.
He seems like he's always been there in Alabama
What do
or
you call it?
Georgia.
UCLA, upper corner or lower Alabama or something like
Upper
that.
corner, yep, upper corner, lower Alabama. Yeah, we got some good team out over that way. We got old Sheldon and Clay Grace. I know after our trip they continued up there and put the smack down on some shoal bass up there. Um,
If I
with
didn't have
with
to go back to work,
well,
Jameson
boy,
invited me up there. I was
I'd
gonna
have
go one
went.
more.
I'd
I
have
would have
went if
went
I
one
could
more.
have, man. That
Uh,
shoot.
uh, yeah,
Clay
yeah.
puts out some great content too. You know, we got a lot of diversity on our team, and that's one thing Jackson we've always been
So
known
cool.
for. We have quite the assortment of characters on their
Yeah, I
team.
mean, we got the
Everybody has
Canucks
their
up there.
place, you know.
We got the Canucks up there ice fishing. I'm like, well, this old Florida boy,
Oh, I know,
ice
right?
and fishing. That don't even
Yep,
sound right.
for
So, but
sure.
no, it's so cool, man. It really is. You know, just the crazy diversity of
Yep,
fishery and the teammates. We got. So cool, and some characters.
there's some
You know,
characters, all right,
yes,
for
sir.
sure. Yep. So yeah, so why bring into that the why Jackson? You know, talk us through your setup and just give us an honest breakdown of why you decide to get in a Jackson in a blue sky.
Sure. Well, I mean, why? I mean, I guess it does go back to kind of seeing that first kayak fishing show, with Jim
Yeah,
Salmons. That's kind of what hooked me. But then working at a kayak shop, I've got to sit my butt in other
and
kayaks,
plenty. Yeah,
and demo them and take them out for a while. I I just haven't found one that's, in my opinion, I haven't found one better that I like. It's plain and simple. I really like the small town company. They're not big corporation. Made in America.
yeah,
That's a plus for me. Um, and just so once I kind of started working at this kayak shop, getting my butt in these kayaks, testing them out, realizing, hey, that's where I want to be. And then last year, meeting everybody and the way they treated me, it was a no brainer. It
yeah.
was a no brainer. Even if you wouldn't have called me, I'd still be in my Jacksons doing my Jackson thing,
There you
trying to keep
go.
posting and doing things, and it's just been a blessing, man. It just really
Yeah,
has.
it's pretty killer. Yeah, I'd
Yeah, I mean,
started
and that's
following
what
you on Instagram. Everybody there's is on the ticker down there. You can follow Jesse at Fish on Kayak Anglers at
we're
Fish
working on
on
that. I got to get it
Kayak.
put on that little thing. We're working on
Ah, it's down there on the ticker right now. Everybody,
Yeah,
but yeah, I'll mention it as well. But yeah, I started following Jesse and keeping up with him. I said, there's another guy in the Northeast Florida area. I need somebody.
yeah,
Needs trying to bring some more team on in
yeah.
Florida
And it was
there.
so cool that I kind of got you and my brother talking about the BMX and the
Mm-hmm.
skating, because you're as old as my older brother pretty much.
Yeah.
So y'all grew up around the same time, and he was grew up doing the BMX stuff
Right.
and doing that kind of stuff, and so that was cool. You guys
Yeah.
were
That was cool.
chatting and stuff before we even really kind of
Yep.
got
Before we
met and
met
stuff.
and got
Yeah,
acquainted. Yep. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Shoot,
So
yeah. Well,
good stuff,
man,
man.
Jackson never would have thought, the roads is taking me down so far. You know, years ago when I got my first CUDA 12.
Yeah. Oh, you got the 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had
Right
well,
on.
I had it. I don't have it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I started out in the in the in the bruised banana. Everybody knows about the bruised banana. That old
Yes, sir.
yellow Perception Pescador Pro that I painted a fade on the bow and the stern, and I car topped it and it looked like a bruised banana on top of my car. So everybody would. That's how it got to be known as the bruised banana. Everybody at work would say, "Man, you rolled it up in that bruised banana." Yeah, I always had, when I surfed all the time, I skateboard, I always had little souped up hatchback cars,
Right.
little Subaru or little Mazda, Mazda 5 or whatever it was, or little something.
Right.
And my friend's dad, rest in peace, W.A. My buddy Hamby, his dad, W.A., he's a boat captain, ran a big Bertram for a Pope auto dealership in Atlanta for the Mr. Pope that owned those. He run his boat for him, and they'd fish all the Bertram shootouts and, you know, Bahamas and all kind of stuff. But W.A. would always pick on me about my tattoos. He'd be like, God dang, doo-doo, because my nickname doo-doo. He said, man, I don't know whether to what to do. I don't know whether to read you like a road map or what. And then he'd always like, man, I rolled up in that in one of them hatchbacks when they said, dang, boy, what you doing driving that pregnant roller skate all the way over here? Old W.A., man. That was a mighty fine fella, man. You know, rest in peace, Mr. Hamby. Yep. Dang. Got me thinking about some backstories and stuff there. But yeah, we like to, every now and then you get some little memories pop up here and there. We start talking about different things and it just start coming out.
No, absolutely.
But man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. We're stoked to have you on the part of the Jackson family, man, and that's what it is. We're family field on our team and in company, and good things coming about, man. We got some good stuff coming down the line, you know, all
Awesome.
good.
No, I couldn't thank you guys enough, you know, for this opportunity, yeah, and everything. You know, I mean, it's been great. You know, asking, you know, even, you know, asking you guys for, you know, some pointers on the water. You know, my old man, you know, unfortunately lost him about, you know, 9 years ago or so to pancreatic cancer. So, you know, they called him Captain. My old man's buddies called him Captain Snook. You know,
Captain Snook.
It wasn't nothing to be down in South Florida and go out with him down to Chuckaluski and Everglades City and all that stuff and catch these 40-inch snook like it was nothing.
Dang.
I mean, just giants. You know, and we go out at night. You know,
at
night, middle of the night. I remember so many night trips. But, you know, once he passed away, you know, I wasn't as serious as I am right now about, especially about kayak fishing.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously now I can't give him a phone call and ask him, hey, what can I do here?
Yeah.
So, you know, having people like you guys to, you know, little tip here and there, or just, you know, you're out there and you learn as you go. But, you know, sometimes stuff stumps you and you got to ask somebody. You know, I ain't afraid to ask nobody. Yeah. I'm not afraid to ask nobody.
Time, man. For sure.
And there's people that'll be a little snooty about what they want to tell you, but that's okay. You know?
Yeah.
That's fine too. But, you know, I've noticed everybody on the team has been just, you know, more than helpful.
Cool.
You know?
Good to hear that. Stand on everybody. Yeah. All right. We getting close to wrapping up here. I got one more thing we kind of do here. I got something called we used to do a pig 3, which is a 3 setups, 3 baits for a certain species of fish, but I got the quick 5. I'm gonna throw at you real quick. Don't think too long. Just pop it off real quick. Here you go. Jags or dolphins?
Oh, Fin, San Marino.
There you go. All right. Redfish or trout?
Reds.
Okay. Jerk chicken or steak quesadilla?
Jerk chicken.
All right. Full moon or new moon?
I love full moons.
There you go.
It's not fishing, but
I like full moon for fishing too.
Yeah.
Incoming tide or outgoing? Which one are you going to set up on?
For Bings, for where I'm at Bings, that outgoing, man.
Outgoing.
I
there you go.
slay them.
You get on them drains and wait on them to come on out. They're going to sit there and wait. Yeah, there you go. So that's the quick 5. We're bringing that back here on Chasing the Tide.
Oh, that was quick.
It's always fun to throw some off the wall stuff in there as well. Awesome. So, you know, maybe I should have had a thong or briefs. I'm gonna throw you with that one.
Depends on if she's with me or not.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my goodness. All right, man. Well, everybody, It's Jesse Laspeyre on here tonight. Give everybody, got a shout out. You know, you want to tell thank you to anybody or whatever. We'll get that going. Wrap the show up.
Right on. Well, if I don't say thank you to my old lady and my kids for putting up with me,
Oh yeah.
I won't hear the end of it. So, you know, my old lady, she puts up with a lot of my stuff, and you know, she's my rock for sure. She's you know, kept me grounded and got me on more of a straighter path than maybe we were when we were younger and dumber, you know.
Yep.
And the
Same.
kiddos, man. I got a 10-year-old and 8-year-old girl and boy, Leah and Logan. They're phenomenal kids. I mean, everybody says their kids are phenomenal, but they're good kids. I mean, biggest thing, thank you guys, Jackson Kayak.
Oh yeah,
I
man.
mean,
Appreciate you.
without you guys, I mean, I'd just be out there kayak fishing. Like I said, I'd still be out there kayak fishing, but you know, to say I don't go out there bragging, but I proudly say I'm on the Jackson Kayak fishing team.
Yeah.
You know, and I say that with pride.
Cool
and,
deal.
You know, I try not to be too pushy. You know, like a used car salesman.
Right.
But you know, I tell my honest opinion.
Yeah.
You know,
Passionate about something, you believe in something. That's what
it.
it is. That's how it
Yeah,
is.
I mean, you know, blue sky. You know, that's my go-to craft, and I love my Orion coolers. You know, it was crazy at ICAST. I won that 35 at the
Yeah.
contest, which was pretty crazy. You know, Bridget just looks at me after she goes to draw the name automatically on the computer. She looks over at me and she goes, "Are you kidding me right now?" And I'm like, "What?" She was, and she just slides the laptop over, and my name's right there. And I'm like, "No way!"
No way.
Yeah, we all got a kick out of it. It was good times.
Yeah.
Perfect way. It was on the last day. Everybody was wrapping up, you know. So, but yeah, no, you know, Orion Coolers, Blue Sky, Jackson, you guys are awesome.
Appreciate it.
I will forever be grateful for the opportunity that you've given me.
Man, we're grateful to have you as well. So yeah, man, good stuff. I appreciate you coming on the show, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. These wouldn't be possible without the listeners there. Thanks Waypoint TV. Thanks Waterloo Rods. Stay tuned to info coming up on the Chasing the Tide page and Paddle and Fin. I think we'll put it up there as well for the Redfish Greenfish Smackdown. That'll be, we're planning early, so you know it'll be October 21st, 22nd. Got that coming up. Got a couple other things going down. Stay on the lookout. Check your local TV listings on the Valley Sports Networks for Road Trip Angler. It could be listed under Heliconia Reels, but just keep your eyes posted for that. We'll keep some stuff up on that. You'll be able to see myself and Mr. Jesse there on a few of the episodes there, and we're going to have a good time with it. And man, thanks again for coming on the show. Hang tight. We're going to roll these credits, and we'll be done. All right. Thank y'all.
Thanks for having me.